Hello, good day and welcome. I am by name Samuel Babatunde, and today we're going to be looking at mathematics. We're going to be looking at mathematics. So, and the topic we're going to be considering today is the multiples. The multiples. We're going to be looking at the common multiple and the lowest common multiple. I'm very sure you're familiar with this. We call it LCM. So we're going to be looking at the multiples. And when we say multiple, you know what multiple means. Take for instance, I have 2. Now, for me to say the multiple of 2 means what? I am multiplying 2 by what? By numbers. Now, take for instance, I have what? 2 times what? 2 to give me 4. I say what? 4 is a multiple of 2. So basically, we're going to be looking at what? Multiples today. And under this multiple, we'll be looking at what? The common multiples, what we mean by the common multiple, and then we're going to be looking at the lowest common multiple, what we mean by the lowest common multiple. So stay tuned as we progress. Stay tuned as we progress. Now, like I said, I am by name Samuel Babatunde, and today we're going to be looking at what? The lowest common, and we're going to be looking at multiples, or we're going to be considering what? The common multiples and the lowest common multiple. Now, 6 is a factor of 12, 18, 24, and 30. What do I mean? That means 6 as a number can go into 12, 18, 24, and 30 without any remainder. Remember in our previous class, we talked about factors. We say factor of a number are numbers that can divide this number without any remainder. So 6 is a factor of what? 12, 18, 24, and 30. Because if you're going to 12 and 12 2 times without any remainder, into 18 3 times without any remainder, into 24 4 times without any remainder, and into 30 5 times without any remainder. So because of this, we say that what? 12, 18, 24, and 30 are what? They are all multiples of 6. They are all multiples of 6. Remember, 6 is their factor. Now, 6, we can refer to 6 as a what? As a common factor of what? 12, 18, 24, and 30. Because 6 can go into all these numbers without a remainder. So it's a common factor for these numbers. Same way now, we can now say, okay, these numbers, 12, 18, 24, and 30 are what? Are multiples of 6. Because 6 times 2 will give us 12, 6 times 3 will give us 18, 6 times 4 will give us 24, and 6 times 5 will give us 30. So you see, we cannot say what? 8, 12, 18, 24, and 30 are all multiples of 6. In the same way, 8, 12, 16, and 20 are all multiples of 4. They are all multiples of 4. Remember, 4 is a factor of 8, 4 is a factor of 12, 4 is a factor of 16, and 4 is a factor of 20. So because of this, you can see that 8, 12, 16, and 20 are what? Are multiples of 4, because 4 times 2 will give you 8, 4 times 3 will give you 12, 4 times 4 will give you 16, and 4 times 5 will give you 20. So you can see that what? 8, 12, 16, and 20 are all multiples of 4. I believe we've understood the concept of multiples now. Now, common multiples. When we say common multiples, what do we mean? From the word common, it means that what? The multiple, that's a number that is common to what? That is a multiple of several numbers. Now, note that 12 is a multiple of both 6 and 4. Like I said, a number which is what? Which is a multiple of what? Of several numbers. You have a number 12. Now, 12 is a multiple of what? Of both 6 and 4. Because 6 times 2 will give you 12. So 12 is a multiple of 6. 4 times 3 will give you 12. 12 is a multiple of 4. Now, because this 12 is a multiple of what? Both 6 and 4, we now refer to as 12 as what? As a common multiple of 6 and 4. Because it is a common multiple. It is common in the multiples of what? Of 6 and 4. When you check out for the multiples of 6 and 4, you definitely find what? 12 in the multiples of 6 and find 12 in the multiples of 4. So we say that what? 12 is a common multiple of 6 and 4. Likewise, 24, 36, 48 are also common multiples of 6 and 4, meaning that you might have several multiples. It isn't necessarily that you have just one common multiple. Like now, see the 6 and 4. You have 12, you have 24, you have 36, you have 48. These 12, 24, 36, and 48 are all what? Multiples of 6. and also they are all multiples of 4. So because you can find them in the multiples of 4 and also find them in the multiples of 6, we refer to them as what the common multiples of 6 and 4. So they are referred to as common multiples of 6 and 4 because you can find them in the multiples of 6 and also find them in the multiples of 4. So you see they are what? They are common multiples. Now, we're going to what? An example. I say give 3 common multiples of 3 and 11. 3 common multiples of 3 and 11. That is multiples that are 3 multiples that will be found in the multiples of 3 and also be found in the multiples of 11. That's what this common simply means. It means that what you find this number as a multiple of 3 and you also find this number as a multiple of 11. Now, I say 33, 66, and 39 are common multiples of 3 and 11. Why? Because you have numerous multiples of 3. But now, out of this numerous multiple of 3, which of these multiple will you also find among the numerous multiples of 11? And like we know, 11 times 1 will give us 11. 11 times 2 will give us what? 11 times 2 will give us 22. And 11 times 3 will give us 33. Now, 3 times 11 also will give us what? 3 times 11 also will give us 33. So you see that what? 33 is a multiple of 3 and also a multiple of 11. So we've gotten one what's common multiple. But the question asks us to find 3. Now we move further again. 11 times 4 will give us 44. And you cannot find 44 as a multiple of 3. You move again. 11 times 5 will give us 55. But you cannot find what? 55 as a multiple of 3 because 3 is not a factor of 55. You move again. 11 times 6 will give us what? 66. Now you check. Can you find 66 as a factor of what? As a multiple of 3? Yes. Because 3 times 22 will give us what? 66. And 3 is a factor of 66. So you say, okay, 66 is a common multiple of 3 and 11. Now we've gotten towards 2 common multiples of 3 and 11. But the question says we should find 3. Now you proceed again. So as you proceed, you begin to check. Now you get to what? 11 times 9. 11 times 9 will give you what? 99. And like you know, 99 is also a multiple of what? Of 3 because 3 is a factor of 99. So you can now say 99 is a common multiple of 3 and 11. Now we've gotten our 3 what? Common multiples, which are 33, 36, and 99. And all these are common multiples of 3 and 11. Very, very simple and straightforward. So that is it on common multiple. So common multiple simply means what? The multiple of these numbers that are common. That is the multiple of a number that you can find also in the multiple of what? Another number. That is the multiple of 3 that I can also find in the multiples of 11. And answer that this number is a common multiple of what? Of 3 and 11. So now we'll be moving to the next, which is the main for this today's lesson, the lowest common multiple. The lowest common multiple. Remember, I've looked at the multiples, we've looked at the common multiples, and we say the common multiple simply means what? That's a number which is a multiple of what? Several numbers. That is a number which you can find among the multiple of a number and also find again among the multiple of another number. We say it is what? A common multiple. Now, lowest common multiple simply means that out of these common multiples now, the lowest of them, now 30, 60, and 90 are all common multiples of 6, 10, and 15. 6 in 30 will give you 5. That's 6 times 5 will give you 30. 10 times 6 will give you 60. And 6 times 5 will give you 30. 6 times 10 will give you what? 60. And then 10 times 5 will give you what? Will give you 10 times 3 will give you 30. 10 times 6 will give you 60. 10 times 9 will give you what? 90. Also 15. 15 can go into what? 30 2 times, 60 4 times, and 90 6 times. Now, these 30, 60, and 90 are all common multiples of 6, 10, and 15. But now, out of these common multiples, we want to pick the lowest. That's the why we call it what? The lowest common multiple. Out of the common multiples of 6, 10, and 15, which is the lowest? Now, 30 is the lowest number that 6, 10, and 15 will divide into without any remainder. So we say that what? 30 is the lowest common multiple of 6, 10, and 15. Because out of all the multiples of 6, you'll find 30. And you also find 30 in the multiples of 10 and also in the multiples of 15. Likewise, you find 60 as a multiple of 6, as a multiple of 10, and as a multiple of 15. You find 90 also as a multiple of 6, 10, and 15. Now, out of these common multiples that we've gotten, which are 3, which are the 60, the 30, 60, and 90, which of them is lowest? And like we know, the lowest is 30. So we say 30 is the what? Lowest common multiple. So that's just a simple word meaning, or the simple definition of lowest common multiple, which refers to as LCM today. It is commonly known as LCM. Now, to find LCM of a set of number, to find the lowest common multiple of a set of number, to find the LCM of a set of number, what do we do? How do we find the LCM? What is the simplest way we can find the LCM of a set of number? Now, the first thing is that you express these numbers as a product of prime factors. You express them as a product of what? Of a prime factors. Now, remember in our previous class, we talked about what prime factors. I thought that prime factors are simply what? Prime factors are simply numbers that has what? Just two factors. They have two factors, that is themselves and one. Themselves and one. And we say one is not a prime factor because one has only one factor. So for you to find LCM of a set of number, you have to express this number as a product of prime factors. And I told you how to express number as a product of prime factors. The prime factors, the lowest prime factor you have is 2, followed by 3, 5, 7, and so on. And for you to express a number as a product of prime factor, you have to start from the lowest prime number. You have to start from the lowest prime number. And the lowest prime number is 2. So you check if this number is divisible by 2. If it is not divisible by 2, you move to the next prime number, which is 3. You check again if this number is divisible by 3. If it's not divisible by 3, you move again to the next prime number, which is 5. But now, if you discover that this number is divisible by the lowest prime number, which is 2, and you divide for the first time, now you check for the number of times that it can go into. Let's say, for instance, now we have 8. And 2 can go into 8 4 times. Now you check again, can 2 still go into 4 before you move to the next prime number? If 2 can go into 4, then you use 2 again. But if 2 cannot go into the number, what do? You now progress to the next prime number. Now, after expressing this number as a product of its prime factors, what do? You now You now find the lowest product of factors that contains all of the prime factors of the numbers. Now, this example will give us will give us an understanding of what I just said. Now, example 1 says, find the LCM of 8, 9, and 12. Find the LCM of 8, 9, and 12. Now, remember we said we have to first express this number as a product of prime factors. We have to express them as a product of prime factors. Now, first we have We have 8. And like we know, 8 is divisible by 2. 2 can go into 8. Now, when 2 go into 8, we have we have 4. That 4 now, 2 can still go into 4. When 2 go into 4, we have we have 2 again. Now 2 can still go into that 4 and that 2. And when 2 go into that 2, it remains It remains 1. Now we can say 2 times 2, which will give us 4. 4 times 2 will give us 8. So for express 8 as a product of its prime factors, 2 times 2 times 2. Now we'll move to the next number, which is 9. We'll express it again also as a product of its prime factors. Now we pick 9. Can 2 go into 9? Because 2 is our lowest prime number. And we are asked that we must start from our lowest prime number. No, 2 cannot go into 9. We move to the next prime number, which is 3. 3 can go into 9. So we write down the 3. Now 3 into 9 will give us 3. Now can 3 still go into 3? Yes, 3 can go into 3. How many times? Once. So you put the 3. Now 3 times 3 will give us 9. So successfully express 9 as a product of its prime factors, because 3 and 3, or 3, is a prime number. Now we pick 12 again and express 12 as a product of its prime factors. Now we look at the 12. 2 can go into 12 because 2 is our lowest prime number. So we have to start from 2. 2 can go into 12. So we put down the 2. And 12 divided by 2 will give us 6. So we check again. Can 2 still go into the 6? Yes, 2 can go into the 6. We put down the 2. Now 6 divided by 2 will give us what? Will give us 3. So we check again. Can this 3 be divisible by 2? No, 3 cannot be divisible by 2. So what happened? We move to the next prime number, which is 3. Now 3 is divisible by 3. So we put down the 3, and to give us 1. So now we say 2 times 2 will give us 4, and 4 times 3 will give us 12. So for express 12 as a product of its prime factors. Now, after expressing that product of prime factors, what do we do now? We now have to find the lowest product of factors that contain all these prime factors. So we find the lowest product of factors that contains all these prime factors. Now, how do we do this? Look at 8 here. 8 here, we have 2 times 2 times 2, right? 9 now, we have what? 3 times 3. And 12, we have what? 2 times 2 times 3. So what do we do now? The lowest product containing all these three is, you pick your 2, right? Times 2 again of this, and times 2 again of this. You have it here, 2 times 2 times 2. Now also you have 3 again, times 3 of this 9, and times 3 again. Now if you look at this 12, you won't include this 2 in 12 again. Why? Because what, these 2 are already found in 8. Remember, we're dealing with what, a common thing. This 2 is already found in 8, so you don't have to include it again, because this 2 here is already included in this one. Also, if you look at this 3 again, you don't need to add the 3, because this 3 is already included in what? In this 3 times 3. That's why we call it what? The lowest product containing all 3. That is the lowest product containing all the prime factors of these 3 numbers. The lowest product, because what? We are dealing with what? With the lowest common multiple. The multiple that is what? That is lowest. The multiple that is common among them, and which is the lowest, is what we are dealing with. So we are dealing with the lowest product. And for us to move with the lowest product, we'll just pick the numbers that are what? That are found. See this 2 times 2 times 2, you pick it, and 3 times 3, you pick it. You don't need to add this 2 times 2 times 3 again. Why? Because this 2 times 2 times 3 is already found in the what? In the numbers we've picked. Look at it, 2 times 2 times 3 is already there. Now, when you do 2 times 2, it will give us 4. 4 times 2 will give us 8. 8 times 3 will give us what? 8 times 3 will give us 24. And 24 times 3 will give us 72. So we say what? 72 is the lowest common multiple of 8, 9, and 12. So 72 is the LCM of 8, 9, and 12. Very easy. So we're moving to the next example, which is example 2. It says find the LCM of 6, 8, and 12. Find the LCM of 6, 8, and 12. And like I told you, that the first thing you do is to what? Express this number as a product of the prime factors. Now 6, the lowest prime number is 2, and 6 is divisible by 2. So you now put the 2 there, because 6 is divisible by 2. That means 2 can go into 6. Now to remain what? 6 divided by 2 will give you what? Will give you 3. Now 2 cannot go into that 3. So you have to pick the next prime number, which is 3. 3 into 3 will give you 1. So you put down the 3. Now 2 times 3 will give us what? Will give us 6. You move to the next number, which is 8. Now 8 is divisible by 2. 2 into 8 will give us what? 4. Now you check again, can this 2 go into 4? Yes. You put the 2 again. 2 into 4 will give us 2. You check again, can this 2 go into the 2? Yes, once. Now you have your 2. So 8 is expressed as 2 times 2 times 2. That's 2 times 2, 4, times 2 will give us 8. Then the next number, which is 12, you express 12 also as a product of its prime factors. 12 is divisible by 2. You put down the 2. Now 12 divided by 2 will give you 6. You check again, can 2 go into 6? Yes. 2 again will go into 6. You put down the 2. Now 2 will go into 6 3 times. Now you check again, can 2 go into 3? No. You proceed to the what? To the next prime number, which is 3. Now 3 into 3 will give us what? Will give us 1. So you put down the 3. So 12 is expressed as 2 times 2 times 3. That's 2 times 2, 4, and times 3 will give us 12. Now we've successfully expressed these numbers as a product of their prime factors. The next thing now is to pick the lowest product containing all the 3. That is, pick the lowest product containing all the prime factors of these 3 numbers. The lowest product containing all the prime factors of these 3 numbers. Now we're going to pick these 2. Seeing it, we'll pick. You see, this 2 is common in all of them, so we'll pick this 2. We'll pick this 2 also, and we'll pick this 2. Because what? You can find this 2 in this 2. You can find this 2 in this. Look at it. You find this 2 here. This is it. 2 times 2, 4. You can find it here. 2 times 2, 4. So we are picking what? 3 of these 2. That's 2 times 2 times 2. Because we are going for the lowest product containing the 3. We're not to write everything. because you can find these 2 here, and you can find these 2 times 2 here, because we're dealing with what the common multiple, the lowest common multiple. Now, you see that this 6 here is 2 times 3, and 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. Now, this 3 is what is common. So you don't need to repeat them again. But at DB, we have another 3. Like maybe we have it 2 times 3 times 3. Now we have to pick that 3. Because what? You can't find that 3 anywhere again here. It's not common again. You understand? But because we're having just 3 here and we're having 3 here, it's common in the 2. You just pick one. But maybe we have another times 3 here and it is not here. We just pick it. We'll pick that one. So the lowest product containing all the 3 is what? 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. That's this 3. And 2 times 2 will give us what? 2 times 2 will give us 4. 4 times 2 will give us 8. And 8 times 3 will give us 24. So we say the LCM of 6, 8, and 12 is 24. The LCM of 6, 8, and 12 is 24. Now move to the next example, which I believe is the last example. Yeah. Now example 3 says, find the LCM of 9 and 12. Find the LCM of 9 and 12. Like we say, we have to express them as a product of their prime factors. Now, to express 9 as part of its prime factors, we start with the lowest prime number, which is 2. And 2 cannot go into 9 without any remainder. They will remain 1, so we cannot use 2. We go to the next prime number, which is 3. Now, 3 will go into 9 3 times. We check again if 3 can go. Can 3 go into 3? Yes, once. So 9 is expressed as 3 times 3, which is 9. Then we move to 12, which is the next number. We express 12 again. The lowest prime number is 2, and 2 can go into 12 6 times. We'll put down the 2. Now 2 can also go into the 6 now. 2 can go into 6 3 times. We'll put down the 2. Now 2 cannot go into 3. So move to the next prime number, which is 3. And 3 will go into 3 once, so you put down the 3. Now we've gotten the numbers expressed in as a product of their prime factors. Now we have to find the lowest product, that's the lowest multiplication containing the prime factors of these numbers. And like we know, remember I told you then, 2 is a product of is a prime factor of 12. You put down the 2. This 2 also is also a prime factor of 12. You put it down. Now you have 3 here. You put this 3. You see that this 3 is common in 9 and 12. You put only 1. You don't have to put the 2 because it is common. We are looking for the lowest product. Then you have another 3. Now you see that this 3 is only found there and not found there. So you have to put it, include it. Had it been this 3 here now, there's another 3 here now. Had it there's another 3 here now, you just have to put only 1. Only 1. Likewise, had it be there's a 2 here now, and we have this 2 here also, it will still be 2 times 2. It won't be 2 times 2 times 2 because the 2 is already common. So because we have just 2 3 here and 1 here, we are going to put the 2 here because this and this is common already. So you don't need to write 3 3s. Like you don't need to put 3 times 3 times 3 again. No, because this 3 is here and it's also here. So you just pick one of it because we're looking for the lowest product. So now the lowest product containing the 2 is 2 times 2 times this 3, then times 3. And this will give us 2 times 2 will give us 4. 4 times 3 will give us 12. And 12 times 3 will give us 36. So we say the LCM of 9 and 12 is 36. The LCM, lowest common multiple of 9 and 12 is 36. So with this, we've come to the end of today's lesson. But before we go, I have an assignment for you. And this assignment is a very simple assignment that you should find the LCM of 12, 24, and 72. That is, find the lowest common multiple of 12, 24, and 72. And this assignment is to be submitted to the WhatsApp group. In case you're not in the WhatsApp group, please, you see the number showing on your screen. You contact this number so you can be added to the WhatsApp group. Now, before we go, we'll do a brief recap. We'll talk about multiples, where we say multiple of a number simply refers to that is the number that is gotten from the multiplication of a number by other numbers. Take for instance, we have 6 times 1, we have 6. 6 times 2, we have 12. 6 times 3, we have 18. 6 times 4, we have 24. 6 times 5, we have 30. Now we say these 12, 18, 24, and 30 are multiples of 6. because 6 is also a factor of these numbers. Then we look at the common multiples. We say common multiples simply refers to what? The multiples of numbers that are common. That is the multiple that you can find in a number and also find in another number. And we give an instance of 12. That 12 is a multiple of 6 and also a multiple of 4. So we can say what? 12 is a common multiple of what? 6 and 4. Then we look at an example to find a common multiple. And we found the common multiple of 3 and 11. Then we look at the lowest common multiple, which we refer to as LCM today. And we say, take for instance, 30, 60, and 90 are all common multiples of what? Of 6, 10, and 15. But now out of these common multiples, we need the lowest of them. And the lowest is 30. So we say 30 is the what? Is the lowest common multiple or the LCM of what? 6, 10, and 15. But now, how do we find the lowest common multiple of a set of number? I said first you would express this number as a product of prime factors, which I've explained, and find the lowest product of this what? Of these factors that is contains what? That contains all the prime factors of the numbers. And I'll give an example, like the 8, 9, and 12. We've expressed 8 as part of the 9 factors, 9 also, and 12. Now, how do we get the product, the lowest product containing all these what? Prime factors? Now, the law is that there mustn't be a repetition. Any factor that is found in one mustn't be repeated if the factor is present in the second one. That is the law. Take for instance now, I have 2 here. I mustn't repeat this 2 again because I have this 2 here. So there must not be repetition. Because I have 2 here, I must not repeat this 2 because this 2 has already covered this 2. And that is why I have only what? 2 times 2 times 2. Remember, I have how many 2s here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I have only 3 here. That is because this 2 and this 2 is already contained here. I must not repeat them. There must not be any repetition. Likewise, see this 3 now. I have 1, 2, 3 here, but I only have 1, 2 here. Why? Because this 2, 3 here is already contained here. The main aim is that we're looking for the lowest product. So there must not be repetition because you find it in different numbers. One doesn't mean you have to repeat it because what's already contained in that number. But if it is not contained, if it's only contained in one, that is when you have to put it. Like see now, this 3, you have 3 and you have 3 here. But you don't have any 3 other way again. You have only this 3. So you have to put it so that you can carry all the words because you're picking all the prime factors. You're picking all of them. So now the lowest product I say will contains what? 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And you have what? 72. Same 2 applied here and same what applied here. Now I give you an assignment. I say you find the LCM of 12, 24, and 72. And I say this assignment is to be submitted what? On the WhatsApp page. Now with this, I say we've come to the end of today's class on mathematics. That is the multiples, where we look at the common multiples and the lowest common multiple. Please join me more on our Zoom mathematics class so you can get more knowledge and more practical ways to solve mathematical questions, to tackle these questions when you come across them in your exam, especially in the objective, that's the multiple choice question, and in your theory. I still remain Samuel Babatunde. Thank you and goodbye.